So hello guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to implement a MITM attack using ARP cache poisoning, and we are going to write a Python script to emulate the whole attack. And in this video I won't go into that much of depths about what ARP is, or what ARP cache poisoning is, or what a man in the middle attack is. There are plenty of other content on internet, you can watch it, but if you already know about those things, and if you want to write your own Python script to conduct an ARP cache poisoning attack instead of using a tool like Ettercap, so this video would suffice. So still, I would just talk vaguely about ARP. ARP is basically, ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. It just helps a device to get the MAC ID of any other device in the local subnet by knowing its IP address. And why do we need the MAC ID? Because any kind of packets which are being forwarded in the subnet, in the frame we need to have the destination MAC address. In the Ethernet frame we need to have the destination MAC address, and when we connect to a network, while in the DHCP configuration we only get the IP address, we don't get any MAC ID of any node. So that is why ARP is required. So you can check the ARP table or the ARP cache of your system using ARP-A. So as you can see, this is my network gateway, and this is the this is its MAC ID respectively, and I'll show you what an ARP process looks like. It is a two-way process. First of all, you broadcast that request, and the second is you get the response from that specific IP address that my MAC ID is this. So first I'll filter by ARP, and what I'll do is I'll delete the entry of my gateway, and then I'll try to ping the gateway. So when we are what ping does is basically, like, if we ping 192.168.29.1, it would send ICMP packets to that address 29.1. And as I told you, ICMP packets in the Ethernet frame, you require destination MAC address, and when we delete that IP address row from the ARP cache, we don't have that in our system anymore. So we would do an ARP broadcast to the whole subnet, that who has 192.168.29.1, and the MAC ID, basically we need its MAC ID, and then 29.1 would respond that this device is at the MAC ID of my router. So I'll just show you. I'll just start capturing, and there you go. I'll just stop, and the first ARP packet was from my device, my MAC ID, my IP address, and we don't have a target MAC address because obviously we want to know the MAC address, and the target IP is the IP address of the device which we want to know the MAC ID of. And as you can see, the destination over here is broadcast. We want to broadcast this to the whole subnet. And one more thing I would like to show over here is the operation code. Operation code is 1, which is request, and then we have a unicast ARP, which is from the source. This is the MAC ID of my router, and the destination is my MAC ID. And as you can see, we are just basically this tells my ARP cache that this IP address is at this MAC ID. And the main important thing over here, while we would be forging that ARP packet using Python, you would be using Scapy. So while we would be forging that packet, OP code is really important. OP code stands for operation code. So we would have to write that operation code to be equal to 2, and you would that is because we just need to reply. That is, we need to tell both the target device and the gateway that this IP address, instead of being at its original MAC, is at our MAC ID. So I believe that if you know the theory of ARP cache poisoning, you would be knowing this. But even if you don't, you could. There are many materials on the internet you would understand. I won't go into much depth in these topics. I'll focus on scripting of the program in this video. So we need to forge the this packet. So I'll just keep it in the side, and what I'll do is I'll create a new Python file. Let's call it mitm.py, and as I told you, I'm going to be using Scapy, so I'll import everything from Scapy. So from kp we import everything. We also require the sleep function from time. Yeah, and then we take in the gateway IP address and the target IP address as inputs. So input, and then we split the input using space. So basically we could just give the I'll just make it full screen. We could just give the input using 192.168.29.1 and 192.168.29 dot whatever it be, whatever the last three digits be. And basically just giving a very vague explanation. What it will do is the existing connection between the target device and the network subnet gateway, we would break that by poisoning both devices ARP cache. So the target device would think that we are the gateway, and it would forward our packets to the packets which were supposed to be sent to the router or the gateway. It would forward that to us, and the router, instead of forwarding the packets which were supposed to be sent to the target device, it would forward that to us, and we'll just pass it back. After having a look, we'll just pass it back to the target device. And of course we are going to be using Wireshark for seeing the traffic flow. And one very important thing is you need to enable IP forwarding for this attack to work. And how you check about IP forwarding is whether IP forwarding is enabled on your device or not is just basically just type in netsh and interfaces and interface IPv4 show interfaces, and over here just select the Wi-Fi interface. The index is 4, so show interface 4, and as you can see, forwarding is enabled. And if you haven't any previous configuration, forwarding should be disabled, because by default I guess in Windows it is disabled. So just go to run and type in registry edit, and then just navigate to on this path HK local machine system current control set services TCP IP parameters. Click on parameters, click on IP enable router, and if IP forwarding is disabled, this would be equal to 0. So just switch this value from 0 to 1 and then restart your device. It won't work until you restart your device. So once you restart your device and run this command again, this should be enabled if it was disabled in the first place. So once I've got that clear, let's just focus on the scripting part. And what we need to do is we need to have some kind of a latency, and we would be continuously sending those two packets. So just we don't need to do that, because we don't need to stress both of them and flood both of them with so many packets. Because if, let's say hypothetically, there was a system administrator, that could be, and if he was monitoring the traffic, it could be suspicious. So we just add a latency, let's say of 1 second or 2 seconds, and we also add a counter to see how many packets we have sent. So the value of counter would be 1, and then we write the main function, the main poison function, and then we take in the two values, the target and the spoof. So basically we need to craft an ARP packet over here. So I'll just call it main packet, that would be equal to ARP. I also have an image over here which just shows what an ARP packet looks like. So over here we only need to consider the OP code, sender IP address, and target IP address, and the target MAC address. The sender MAC address, we don't need to care about it, because if we don't alter the sender MAC address, that value would be equal to the MAC ID of my device, and hence the attack would work. So by default, this is what we want this to do, so we don't need to care about it. So first of all, the OP code should be, or the operation code should be equal to 2, and then the sender IP address. Now the sender IP address basically over here is called, over here's IP address means protocol, and sender means SRC. So protocol SRC would be spoof. So we would pretend that the packet is coming from the spoof IP address, and then the target IP address, that is the protocol destination, would be equal to the target, the device which we are targeting, whatever it be. First we are going to target the gateway, then the victim device, or it could be in any case, in any ways, first it could be the gateway, first it could be the target device. So I'll just maximize this. So the protocol IP destination will be the target, and over here we have target MAC address, that is the hardware destination, and the hardware destination would be equal to the MAC ID of the target. And there is a function in SCAPI called get MAC by IP. So basically, if there is an IP address in your subnet and you want to get the MAC ID, you can just use this function. So this would be enough for the packet. So we just send that packet using the send function, and we keep verbose as false. And we keep verbose as false because it just repeats the same message again. We don't want that to happen. And once this is done, we just create a try block, and over here we have a while true, and within the while true we poison the gateway IP and the target IP, and then we poison the target IP comma the gateway IP. Yeah, and then we just print the counter. Just see how many pairs of packet has been sent, and then we let the counter increment, and then we let the main thread sleep for whatever the latency is. And this is enough for the ARP spoofing. So even if you run this right now, the attack would work, and you would get the traffic between your target device and the network gateway. But the thing is that as a good practice, we need to also heal their ARP caches. What exactly healing is basically that we want to once we are terminating the attack, we want to give both the target's ARP cache and the ARP cache of my router the correct MAC ID value. So in the future, whenever, like, whatever the reason be, for an example, if I disable IP forwarding in this computer, and then the target in the target machine in the ARP cache, the MAC ID of the router is still my MAC ID, it will forward all the packets to me. And since the IP forwarding is disabled, all those packets would be dropped and you could not access internet in that device. So as a good practice and to avoid such circumstances, we just create a heal function that would essentially heal both the target and the gateway device. So the heal function, and it will just take in sender's IP address and the receiver's IP address. And what we need to do is we just need to make that same packet, and the OP code would once again would be equal to 2, and the destination would be the receiving IP address. So protocol DST would be equal to receiving IP address, and hardware destination would be equal to the MAC ID of the receiving IP. So get MAC by IP of RCV IP. And then we have the protocol source. Protocol source would be equal to SNIP, and then the hardware source. Hardware source would be equal to get MAC by IP, and it would be the sender's IP. So basically, we just send operation code to, which basically means a forced ARP packet to both. Like, we'll call this function twice, so we'll send it to both the target and the target device and the router. So as to basically all these parameters are correct, so we'll send a packet with all the correct parameters, so the ARP cache is once again restored, that is, the ARP cache is healed. So we'll send the packet, and again verbose is equal to false. Packet should be PKT, yes. So what we'll do is when we want to quit, we'll just hit Control C. So we'll accept keyboard interrupt, and once we hit Control C, we'll just print healing the ARP cache of both the systems, and After that, we'll just heal gateway IP comma target IP, and then we'll do the vice versa of it. Target IP and then the gateway IP, and once it is done, we'll just print program terminated. So that would be enough. So I'll just save it and then I'll run it. So you can also run Python code in Vim. So basically just an exclamation mark and then like cls and Python and percentage. So 192.168.29.1, and I'll run this attack on my phone. The IP address of my phone is 253 192.168.29.253, and I'll also use Wireshark over here. So before running that, I'll just see that IP.source is equal to 192.168.29.253, and I'll run this attack. I'll start the attack over here, and Wireshark is also running. So as you can see, now we are in between both of the devices. So now if I go to a website, there you can see all the traffic which the phone was supposed to be sending to the router is being sent to us, which we are forwarding to the router. So we just hit Control C, and this is how we first heal the cache, and this is how exactly we conduct an ARP cache poisoning attack. So this is it for the videos, guys. Thanks for watching.